What's good, y'all? We back with another episode of Facts and Stats. First episode of the new year. We here. We got the original four, and we got some two special guests. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in a second. But before we even get into anything, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, and make sure y'all subscribe and send the podcast out. Put somebody on. I'm gonna let our two guests introduce themselves. Whichever one of y'all go first, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, my name Hafiz, man. Nice to meet y'all. Welcome to the new year.
So what's
Respect.
going on, y'all? My name's Last Joel. My Instagram is Last King Joe. Happy New Year, new episode, new vibes. Let's get it.
All right, both of our guests, their social media will be in the description, so y'all be able to follow them or whatever. Um, First topic we gonna get into is last night's games. We gonna start off with the light skinned boy out of Oakland right now. You know what I'm saying? The Oakland draftee versus the Oakland native. Steph Curry, he dropped the career high last night, dropping 62 points in a 137 to 122 win against the Portland Trailblazers. Um, in a convenient time too. You know, we just seen that little video of Damian Lillard talking about how Stephen Curry is finally going through what everybody else been going through for the last 4 or 5 years and being the only true number one option on the team. So I'm gonna just get the opinion of my co-host real quick about the game. We gonna start off with King. What you seen? Did you watch the game and what did you think of Steph Curry's performance?
I watched a little bit of the game. Definitely a great performance by him setting the career high and everything. He was knocking all the shots down and everything. Definitely put the team on his back for real. And I didn't really see too much of it. I know CJ McCollum had like 28 against the highest of his team or whatever. And also with Andrew Wiggins, showing up. I mean, even though he was like 8 for 16, 4 for 7 from the free throw, finished off with 21 points. And yeah, it was definitely a decent game by his teammates, but definitely a great game by Steph Curry himself. Definitely. That's all I really got to say about it.
Yeah, Steph Curry's teammates, they've been kind of letting him down throughout the season. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good to see them play decent and then he go off. Joe, what you got for us?
I think it was time for Steph to remind the world who he is and what he could do, which is score the ball at a high rate, dropping 62. Two points that I want to make out about Steph is it's looking like a slow start, 3-3, getting things together, but two things that don't fall on him are his teammates and are his coaches. I feel like Steve Kerr is not using his teammates to the best of their abilities, and I feel like his teammates are also not doing what they need to do in order to play the right way to help him. But Steph is phenomenal. I hope that he keeps this going for the rest of the year. Maybe this might be another MVP season for him. We just gotta wait and see what he could do.
Hey, if he gonna be dropping 60, it's definitely possible. How you feel about that, Ev? How do you feel like? Because it seems like a lot of people are pretty sympathetic of Steph Curry's situation after he been winning. He spent like 4 or 5 years straight going to the finals all the time. How do you feel about this whole Golden State situation as a whole?
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Warriors, the Warriors in general, Curry in general, they got a lot of lovers and they got a lot of haters. And when I say haters, they got a lot of haters. Um, uh, I think like you said, Curry just had to remind the world on who he is and what he do. You know, he's the greatest shooter of all time. He changed the game. He now he's really at he finally realized like Damian Lillard said he got a strong task at hand. Can you will this team to the playoffs? Kelly Oubre is playing like shit right now, but he's improving as time go on. The rookie center, he's actually getting better as the game's going on as well. And I think Draymond is bringing that spark that's needed. You know, he only had 1 point last night, but his 8 assists was very key in limited minutes. When he goes up to 35 to 38 minutes a night, when he's getting those little 5 stat lines, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 points. You know, steals, blocks, all that around. You know what Draymond do. I think the Warriors can definitely take off and make some noise. Hopefully in the playoffs. You know, I know I was bashing. I'm saying that Curry needed to do more, and he did more. So hopefully, the Warriors can turn things around and just build off this momentum. They got the Kings tonight, so I'm expecting, I want them to whoop the Kings tonight, just like they did the Blazers last night. So to really make a statement, you gotta do it back to back.
Yeah, that's facts. We can't just see one stellar performance and then just be a prisoner of that moment. They're gonna have to replicate something of what they did last night. Hafiz, um, what you feeling about Steph Curry? How you feel about Steph Curry right now?
I mean, the way I feel about Steph Curry, the same way I always felt about Steph Curry. He's still top three, one of the best players in the NBA because everybody knows when he cross half court, he's a deadly man, regardless of where he touched the ball at. So yesterday was just a reminder to y'all, like, yeah, I does this. This is what I do. And y'all gonna put some respect on my name, regardless of what my team was. And with Damian Lillard saying what he said, it probably fueled him even more to do even better. Cause like I can't really say like he's gonna continue to have a 62-point game, but everybody knows Steph could go crazy at any time. And when Steph go crazy, Steph go crazy.
Yeah, that's facts. As we seen last night, like Steph could really go crazy. He shot 18 for 31. So it only took him 31 shots to get 62 points,
Crazy.
which is crazy efficiency.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mark, you got anything else you want to add?
Pretty much what Hafiz said. I mean, he pretty much showed him where he is. He pretty much still that dog. I mean, he gonna struggle for the rest of the year, you know what I'm saying, without help for real, you know what I'm saying. The Warriors don't really got nobody that can put up as many points as him, so but I'm not saying he can't do it though. Can't get him to the playoffs probably.
So you say he gonna struggle for the rest of the year?
No, I'm saying the Warriors.
Oh, okay, the Warriors.
And to piggyback off of what Mark said, I'll go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
I was saying to piggyback off of what Mark had just said, as far as like Steph Curry comes, it's like everybody be saying like, oh, Steph got to do it by himself. I mean, really, Steph didn't never had to do it by himself, so you never seen that side of him because he was never a player that was arguably. And when he first came into the league, ain't nobody look at him like he was just gonna be this great player that he is. They just look at him as a spot-up shooter. So the fact that everybody's saying, like what Damian Lillard said, like how he got to carry the team, he never was asked to do that. He always, the team that was around him is what they built around him. And that's how he was able to do what he was able to do. So just his greatness itself, like, all right, I'm going to share the load so it won't look like it's all on me. That's why Draymond got what Draymond got. That's why Clay got what Clay got. And when KD came into the picture, it just all just gelled together. So it's like they asking Steph to do something that he was never asked to do. Now that y'all see what he can do, that's not his stature of what he wants to do. But if he has to do that, you can see, oh yeah, he will do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely right because when I hear people criticize Curry, I always hear the point of, oh, he never
got an amazing team, right?
Himself. Yeah, all this, but this is really his first time in a long time to where he's been by himself as the number one scoring option.
Right.
He had those, even when he first got drafted, he had Monte Ellis and all those other guys by his side. So this is really the first time we really seeing Curry with a team this bad. And like those first couple games, his team was really like bad. Like Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins, you could just tell that they just new to the team because they don't play the same way that the other guys were playing. Like Kelly Oubre, they'll be swinging the ball. We know how the Warriors like to move the ball around, and we'll see if the ball gets to Kelly Oubre or Andrew Wiggins, and then the offense just stops, and they'll do something like just drop to the rim and miss a layup, or just take a bad shot in general. So that's one thing we got to keep in consideration with Steph Curry. Now I'm gonna ask y'all one more question about Curry and the Warriors before we switch to the next topic. And it's going to be like a two-part. So first, I'm going to ask the question. Y'all just answer the question, and I'm going to follow it up with another question, and then I'm going to open the floor back up to y'all. And the question is, do y'all think that the Warriors should look to possibly trade Steph Curry?
Cap.
Hell no.
Okay.
Why? No. Like if anybody they should.
Why would you even ask that?
Like if anybody they should trade, it'll be Draymond because it's like what exact like. All right, let's look at it like this, right? If we talk about Draymond had 8 assists, 6 of them went to Steph. So he really had 2 assists. Let's start right there. 2 assists in 1 point, 36 minutes though.
No, 27.
Okay,
27.
look,
Oh,
hey,
27
look,
minutes. My bad.
and
But I'm,
when I
Enough.
when I first had that question brought to me, my reaction was the same as all y'all. Like basically everybody looked at me and said hell nah. And like I could look at y'all faces like all y'all was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But
I actually thought you was joking when you first asked that question.
nah, I'm dead serious. Here's why. Okay, so I was I was talking with some guys a few days ago, and these are guys who watch the game just as much as us. These are not just like some randoms. Like these guys actually pay attention and watch the games. They proposed the idea of the Warriors kind of trying to rebuild for like a new era. And one thing that they brought up was LaMelo Ball in Charlotte. Now Curry is 32, which is towards the end of his prime window, and they now have James Wiseman, a young center that they just drafted. And and to be honest, do we really think that the core of Stephen Curry, Draymond, and Clay, do we think that's gonna really bring a championship like anytime soon, unless something like really dramatic happens?
So
Can I comment on that?
I'll
Go
go ahead.
ahead.
Honestly, I understand like what you mean in terms of like I've been hearing that as well. I've been talking to some guys like this is the end of his prime. How is Clay gonna come back next season following an ACL tear and then an Achilles tear, and that's 2 years removed, and that's towards the end of his prime. Is he gonna be the same two-way player? And Draymond is also gonna decline. My argument with that is when you had a top two, top three pick, and you chose a guy like Wiseman, who is proven so far to grow every single game, and has proven that he could put the ball down on the floor, he could shoot, he could shot block, and he could rebound, which was something that they missed entirely in their whole championship window. They never had a solidified five that was able to come out to the floor and guard players or guard three and fours. So in the sense of if you tell this kid, okay, the three guys that founded this core are gonna come back, and now you're gonna have help, and now you got have 2 to 3 competent players that have IQs. Like if you add another guard coming off the bench, and now you have Eric Pascal coming again next season and being better, and then if you add another veteran player, it just adds on to the depth. I feel like they shouldn't do this because they have the structure to actually win another championship, and we got to see the ceiling of how Wiseman does as well. I want to add on that you have to think, depending how they finish this year. Let's say, for example, they got a top 10 pick. Let's say they get a top 10 pick. Now you have 2 years in a row that you got. Now you guarded a bit. You drafted a big, and you could either draft a wing or you could draft a guard in order to replace Steph after they're done. But to come and just blow the whole thing up, it just doesn't make sense from a business standpoint of pushing a winning product. Because even if you take these 2 years of losing, you already had 5 to 6 years of success, 3 championships, and a 5 finals run. So that's definitely, in my opinion, to me, the most worst choice you could think of trading each guy. If you want to trade someone, trade Draymond because of his contract and because of his age, and because you would like to add either a veteran or a young guard to help out. Now, depending how you want Wiseman to be and how well he establishes himself.
All right, now to piggyback off of what he just said, I agree with you 100%. Reason why I say that, because if you've seen teams that have done that, that really try to rebuild, rebuilding doesn't really work for everybody. You think you send yourself back up 2 years, and you might as well just set yourself back up 10 years. Like you see what the 76ers had to go through. Like they were drafting in the top 10 for the past 6 years until they was able to finally get it right. So you train Steph Curry, just you complete hitting the panic button. Let's say, for instance, like he said, this onside this it just doesn't go your way this year. Like you end up getting a top 10 pick. If you see what's in this draft coming up, if the Warriors is able to get somebody out there drafting the top 10, just look at that lineup. Yeah. You got Steph, you got Clay, you got Oubre, and you know they're gonna get rid of Draymond because one, like he said, that contract. Now you got that dog of a center in James Wiseman, and you can't double team him. Why? Because if you double team him, Steph wide open.
I'm
And
loving.
Curry's
Hold
wide
on.
open.
I'm
Well,
loving. I'm loving everything y'all saying, but I'm just a little upset that y'all keep saying trade Draymond. Draymond
The enforcer.
he's the glue guy. He's like
Right.
Curry right hand man. He's the one that get Curry going. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like
just for the
I
terms of this
but
conversation, who would you
in
have to pick up? Like,
in
who would you trade if you had to
in
trade?
terms of this conversation, it's clear as day. Andrew Wiggins. I'm keeping Draymond.
Yeah,
Wiggins.
nah, but the thing is, like, I do agree. I'm not saying trade Draymond at all because I love Draymond.
Yeah,
Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what I'm saying, if they did, if anybody that they could trade that has a trade capital, it will be Dray. What are you gonna get for Andrew Wiggins? Like Andrew Wiggins is like a bag of Skittles right now. Nobody really want Andrew Wiggins because he really is a bust if we want to put it into terms. Like, for what he was supposed to be as the number one overall pick to what he really is right now, it's like it's not there. But I'm not saying trade Draymond, but if they did had to trade somebody, Draymond it'll be Draymond or Clay.
because
Steph
that's the most
ain't going nowhere.
appealing name
It's
to
right.
Right.
that trade.
It,
And
it'll be Draymond or Clay because it's like they got the most capital out of what we can gain that teams will love to rebuild from.
Mhm.
But because Draymond reminds me of like a Dennis Rodman. Like, he don't really care too much about the flashy and the dashy. He just more so about as long as we win, how I get mine don't really matter. As long as we win, Draymond the team play. Like you said, he is the glue. He's the reason why a lot of the stuff happened. Like, if you notice, like when they lost that finals to the Cavaliers, it was because of that one game that Draymond missed really like hurt them because it's like they never had that glue. And I get what you're saying about they never really had a center. They did. Remember when they had Andrew Bogut with that first finals run? That's why they were so dominant. So
they,
now
they have a
that
center
they got
score,
now that they got Wiseman, like, that's my pick for rookie of the year. I understand a lot of people say LaMelo.
Nah.
I get that, but
Anthony
Wiseman,
Edwards.
eh,
the
I
difference
can't disagree. I can't disagree. I
the
can't.
difference between Bogut and Wiseman is that Wiseman has shown that he has an outside shot already. Like, off rip, that makes a difference. Now, you think the way, like, that's why I said right now, Steve Kerr thinks this is like 17, 16, 18 Warriors, that he has two superstars with Curry right now running screens and coming. And then if they don't get a shot off of screens, then they come and everybody's panicking and taking shots with 2, 3 defenders on them.
Yeah,
Because
but
they're sharing the ball, but they're not hitting no threes because they're not efficient shooters. Nobody's KD. KD is one of one. Nobody's Clay. Clay's either the first or second best shooter to ever live. So in the
Okay.
terms of like the way that Wiseman brings, now you having two other shooters, of course you want him. That's why I'm saying they never had a dominant big with his skill set that's able to put the ball on the floor, able to play make, and able to have handles as his growth goes along. Because so far in these 4 or 5 games that they played, 6 games, excuse me, he has shown every single game a little bit more of what he has done the previous game.
Right.
Okay, so you speak highly on Wiseman, and I agree with everything you say about Wiseman. I think he's going to be a great player. But I think one thing that we're forgetting when we on this topic is that the age and the timelines of Wiseman and Steph and Draymond and Clay don't really line up. It's gonna take a while for Wiseman to really be your starting quality big man center on a championship team. I
I
think it'll
disagree
take
with
at
that.
least like 3 years
I disagree with that.
before they're ready to even compete for a championship and
I
have a
disagree
chance in the
too.
West.
I disagree with
Yeah,
that.
I
disagree
disagree.
with
Why?
that.
Because I think their window is still more open than you think. I think you're giving them a 1 or 2 more year window. I think that
Yeah.
window still goes 3, 4 more years.
Y'all got to look at the age of 32. 32
Right.
in basketball is really not 32 in bad. Like, because when
Anymore.
you look at 32 in football, that's different. Now he getting old. Basketball is a little bit more different, especially how the game is played now.
Especially for Stephen Curry, all he do is shoot anyway. So
Right.
I
Now
mean,
His
he's
hey,
game is
the
not to
guy
be
that has
physical or
their
crucial.
legs. And Q, to that point, look at what happened with the Spurs.
Right,
In the
right.
90s.
Right.
Tim Duncan, they got Tim
Right.
Duncan and they ended up winning a chip.
Good point.
Like,
I mean, hey, I guess it just depends on where you view their window. I don't think their window is as long as most people may think, because I know Steph Curry is majority a shooter, but Steph Curry, he runs off the ball so much and does a lot more
Oh,
than just shooting the ball. And we see Klay Thompson, he just had like back to back like major injuries, and they have miles on them between those three. All the finals they went to, they have more miles on that. And 32 is really kind of like the end of your prime window in
Not to
most cases.
compare, not to compare. My bad, King.
I know
My last comment.
Go ahead.
Not to compare, but LeBron went to what, 8, 9 straight finals. Look at those.
We've only
finals.
seen one LeBron.
Oh, and we only seen one Curry.
right. And to say what you're saying about Curry, like how Curry just only come off the ball. Nah, Curry only come off the ball because that's what he was asked to do.
No, yeah, you right.
If
No,
you-
I'm
if you
saying,
remember
I'm
Curry
just saying,
first-
I'm talking about like the overall mileage of and strain on your body of what he does. Because
Yeah, I get that. But you got to think about it. Curry was just out for the whole entire season last year. So all that mileage that he had actually was taken off of him.
Right.
He was able to relax, get hit. You see when he came back, it looked like he never left. So it's like I get what you're saying about the mileage and all that, but it's to the point now, like basketball with the technology, with the coaching, with the workouts, with how everything is different. It's like it's not that much mileage put on your body.
And look at John Wall right now and KD. So like when D Rose got injured a couple years ago, we was like, it's over. The way that medicine is right now is giving an athlete an advantage to sustain their peak or their prime to exceed the physical age that what we once knew. Like this is not the 80s or 90s anymore that you break your Achilles and you're gonna.
Wait, you said who?
I'm saying that John Wall and KD right now. Like the way that they've come back and they've been looking like who's to say that Klay might not be able to come and be again a 20-point scorer again in the league.
No questions, he will.
Okay, so do y'all think that they're gonna be able to play at the level that they're at the ages of like 35?
Yes, because of the way that their offense is constructed, is moving the ball, sharing the ball, and now that they have a big, it's completely revamps their whole offense. Like that's my whole argument with people that have that argument about the pros and window.
Another comment to that, like Joe was saying, they never had a big to where they can dump it down to and take a load off. They got that now. So 2 years from now, Wiseman, in realistic prediction to me, 2 years from now, he's going to be an 18 and 10, 20 and 10 guy.
Exactly. And now it adds another element to their offense that they never had. So now if you have a big man that could come outside and, KD is a scorer. So when they played that small lineup, it was a threat because now everybody could shoot. But imagine a big man that now could rim protect and could limit everybody in the paint. It adds another level of threat to that offense.
And another thing I want to say with it too, they're only struggling because they don't have the second consistent shooter because Klay out.
Exactly.
Like
and on top of what Kane was just saying, and mostly the reason why a lot of people talk like this because a lot of people actually kind of happy that the Warriors ain't good no more. Yeah. That's why a lot of people they want the Warriors to break up. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I love when I was watching Steph Curry just pull up from anywhere. I'm like, this man really changed the game of basketball. Like, cause you got to think about it. It's so much that anybody can't really be a LeBron. Like, you can't go out and just say, "Oh, I want to start dunking the ball." But with Curry, he made the game to the point like, oh, I could shoot. Oh, I could do layups like high off the glass, like stuff that people wasn't really doing before. So now it's like like if you look at how he really universally changed the game of basketball in 1 year, it got to the point where you see centers now. Okay, you know what? I gotta learn how to shoot. Now you see everybody and their mama. If you can't shoot, you can't make it in basketball no more.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Robinson is done. That's why Andre Robinson's career is done.
Yeah, like Andre Drummond. He an afterthought now. Now he's just a rebounder. But it's not to say Andre Drummond ain't good. But it's just like his style of basketball and the way the basketball going now. It's like can't shoot.
Andre Drummond is hooping.
Thank you. We got a minute left.
Yeah. Hey, y'all all made some good points. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying whether or not they should or shouldn't, but I definitely do think that it's something that they should at least take a look at and consider. Just
wait.
Doing what they can to.
You think they should consider trading Curry?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of everything I just said. What do you mean? Curry does not have a long time. You gotta if they make that trade, they get another young star that's the same age of the guy they already have now. That's more
That's like
years
you
to
saying the
be
Lakers should trade
relevant.
LeBron
That's
right
what I was
now.
just about to
For
say. Like,
Lamelo, like if it's for Lamelo, I think they should look at a trade at a Lamelo
I
trade.
love
So
Lamelo.
hold
Lamelo,
up, hold up.
bro. Steph
LaMelo.
never
What
have
what
won.
has LaMelo showed you to say that he could be the next Curry
His
or he could
credit
be
is
better
brother.
than Curry? Because the
It's not
same way he
about
can,
being better or worse than Curry. It's just about having another piece that you can rely on, or at least that you can be willing to take a chance on.
One
All right.
piece
Because
that
Curry
brings
is not going to be here
Back.
forever. All right, so this is why I think that the Warriors should at least look at a Stephen Curry for LaMelo deal. Is I'm gonna just start it off with LaMelo. Now LaMelo is it looks like LaMelo is gonna be a very good player based on the way he's able to pass the ball, the way he's a gifted passer for already what is he like 19 right now or something like
yeah,
that?
he
Like
19,
young
19.
boy. And it's looking like he's gonna be very good. A lot of people, think that he's gonna be very good. And based off of what I seen he has a lot of tools to be very good. Now with Steph Curry, I'm not saying that we should give up on Steph Curry and Clay just yet. I'm just saying as a like from a business perspective and from a perspective of trying to refresh your organization and get not get stuck after your stars leave is to do this. And I'm usually a guy is like keep your players there, let them if they want to leave, then let them leave, or if they want to finish their career there and retire, so be it. Steph Curry is a guy where yeah, he would like to retire in Golden State, but he's also a guy that he knows that the NBA is a business and he would
can
be
I
willing to
can I ask you
do
a question?
and he already came out and said that he wouldn't be opposed to playing for his hometown in Charlotte.
Okay, can
So
I ask
what's
you a
your
question?
question? What's up?
Do you not just think James Wiseman is going to be that guy? Like, do you not think he's just going to be a star player?
Okay, let me. James Wiseman, another point. James Wiseman, in order to succeed as a big man, he's gonna need a guard. Every big man we see succeed, they need a guard or somebody to get them the ball and control things on the perimeter. He
I
has
seen.
that right now in Stephen Curry, but Stephen Curry, like I said before, he's not going to be around forever. He's not going to be in the league longer than LaMelo will be in the league. Eventually, we don't know when we'll see a fall off, how long it'll be. It could be 3 years from now. It could be 5 years from now. It possibly something could happen, and it could be within the next 1 to 2 years. We don't know, but
Oh,
this is an opportunity to kind of refresh your organization without looking like you stabbed one of your franchise guys in the back, because they already came out and said that if the Warriors wanted to do something that would better their organization for the future, he wouldn't mind playing in Charlotte. So I think it kind of lines up because the timeline of LaMelo and Wiseman lines up with each other. And then like if you get LaMelo there, you'll always have somebody for Wiseman to build around. And LaMelo looks like a good fit for the way
so
Wiseman
so do
plays.
you think the Lakers should ever trade LeBron since LeBron and AD had such a big age gap?
LeBron is not Curry. LeBron is
Oh
LeBron.
my
And to be
God! Here we
honest,
go.
it depends, bro. That's a totally different situation. Like I'm pretty sure if LeBron said he wanted to go somewhere else, like the Lakers wouldn't be opposed to that. He already bought us a ring. He doesn't really owe us anything else. He did what he came to do. Just like Steph Curry, he came and did what he was there to do. I'm not saying what they should or shouldn't do, but I think this option from a basketball standpoint for the future and a business standpoint, it makes sense to take into consideration, especially when you consider the fact that we see these guys getting hurt now. We seen Clay get hurt a few times. We seen Draymond get hurt a few times, and we just seen Steph Curry miss a whole
I,
season.
I don't
So
want. I don't
Hey,
want.
I want
Hold
to
on, hold
say
on, hold
something.
on. I don't want it to be just us two talking Q. So that's my last thing on that. I'm so glad we a team. I'm so glad we talk sports together, and I'm so glad we on a podcast together because a year or two from now, when the Warriors are back on top, because you're writing them off. When the Warriors are back on top with Clay, Curry, Draymond, Wiseman, Wiggins, and Oubre on the side, I just want you to remember everything you're saying right now in episode 46 or 47.
I mean,
Wiggins probably ain't gonna be there.
it don't do nothing to me because I just said I don't look. I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't. I'm saying they should consider it.
That's even disrespectful.
That's
No,
very
it ain't.
disrespectful. So I'm gonna tell you like this, because I'm not really too sure if you watch College Hoops, but that's a kid. He played for
Cade
Oklahoma
Cunningham.
State.
Cade
Exactly.
Cunningham. I know about Cade
So so
Cunningham.
you so if
Cade
you
Cunningham
say
probably gonna
so
be #1 in the draft.
exactly. So if you talking about LaMelo, you see Cade Cunningham. He is 6'10" and he plays point guard. He could shoot. He could dribble, and that boy got defense out this world. So why you think OKC trying to get rid of everybody? They trying to get him. So it's not. I get what you're saying about LaMelo. This, that, and third. LaMelo wasn't even the best player in his own draft. So now you tell
I think it's a little too early to say that. It's way too early.
no. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the way the draft experts like they set it up. They had LaMelo rated as the third best player. They had
Yeah, but they be wrong a lot.
Nah,
You
you're
can't
right.
really go
You
based. I
right.
mean, he is a he's a top 3 talent. He deserves to be drafted where he was. I know he wasn't #1, but I mean, I don't. Do the Warriors have a way to get Cade Cunningham? Like, I don't understand how Cade Cunningham is relevant to this like thing because I don't think the Warriors are going to be that bad of a team to.
What I'm saying, but what I'm saying is you got Kay Cunningham and you also got BJ Boston too. And don't forget, you got Dior, you got I said Dior, you got Josh Christopher, and you also have my man from Florida State. I can't think of his name right now.
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes. Like you got. It's a talent pool right in this draft coming down. So I get what you're saying. You're saying they should consider it, but it's like, why would you literally when you know you got a core championship team, a championship built? They know how to get there. They know what it takes. They know the effort. Why would you break that up to start over?
It's the best way to look at it is it's no need for the Warriors to do that because all you have to do is hit on the lottery. If they
Right.
say the Warriors don't make the playoffs this year, we all know 16 teams make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, they have a lottery pick. Where did the Spurs get Kawhi at in the lottery? Where did Kawhi?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't have to be LaMelo. I'm more based off of the option because LaMelo seems like it fits as like it fits better because
I know what you mean.
not only because of what I said, you could trade Steph Curry and get younger. And you could flip, and then the media will eat that story up. Steph Curry playing for his hometown, and a trade for, and LaMelo in a trade for MVP. Like they looking for reasons. LaMelo is from a business perspective. LaMelo Ball is box office. He was famous since he was in high school. So from that perspective, it makes sense. Now from a basketball perspective, it doesn't necessarily have to be LaMelo. I'm just saying options to keep this team, fresh and keep them, young. It just depends whether they need to do that or not. I guess it depends what you think Golden State's peak is in 2021 and beyond. With the core of Steph, Clay, and Draymond, I think that was, enough in 2015 and 2016. But I think nowadays, I don't think just dumb and a young James Wiseman is gonna be enough to win a championship.
But
because we don't really see too many.
If you get rid of the #1 man, you just wasting 10 years. The next 10 years.
No, you're not. Not if you get a new potential #1 man. You got
James Wiseman.
All right, and then you get to have 2 with LaMelo for longer. Steph Curry, LaMelo.
But how you so sure LaMelo? How you so sure LaMelo is going to be a star player?
We only 6 games in.
I'm not sure.
And that's what I'm saying. But you already know what you got in Steph Curry, though.
You do.
So you gonna bank your buck on potential instead of that's like saying I'm gonna trade LeBron for Cade Cunningham.
I mean, like I said, it just depends on how you view what the Warriors have. I view LaMelo as somebody who has the potential to be transcended. And I feel like
In what way?
when it in what ways in his passing ability and his IQ of the
Chris
game.
Paul.
Yeah, he could be like a Chris Paul and like a tall Chris Paul, like with the way he passes and everything. LaMelo is very good. LaMelo has the chance to be transcendent. When you watch him play, you
But
could tell he knows how to run the offense and he knows how to hit his players when they open. And he's not afraid to score like his brother is
so what's the point of basketball? Like what is the main objective in basketball?
to
To
compete
win.
at the highest level for as long as possible.
No, the main point of basketball is score more points than the other team.
To win.
So if I'm sitting here, like I know it's a guy that I know he is lights out once he cross half court. Whether or not it's a guy that he has to take time to try to find the open person, why would I not go for the guy that I know in a blink of an eye he got 15 points in 3 minutes?
So you think that the Warriors should just get somebody out of this draft class? Now I know this draft class, everybody that I know that watches college, they told me that this draft class is supposed to be the truth. This draft class is supposed to be loaded.
This
So
is
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
get you from that perspective, but it's just like that also depends on like what pick, like what if the Warriors end up with like a pick outside of the lottery?
you still got like this class is loaded. Like the lottery plays go all the way to 23.
this is probably gonna be the best draft
It-
of all
this
time.
is-
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be like one of the best drafts. Like if your team needs something, you gonna find it in this draft.
Mhm.
And it's like it just depends on how they play out in the NBA. You hear me? But it's like, but whatever you need a point guard. You got three of them. You need a shooting guard. You got at least like five of them. Small forward, the dime in a dozen it is. Everybody want BJ Boston. That's the small forward that everybody want. But you got Zaire Williamson. He's a dog, and you still like you got a lot of names out there.
Okay, so what if why can't they do both?
Why can't they
But
trade
it's like you just send your team back. You
You
feel
want to
me?
stay competitive. You want to win.
Yeah.
The Warriors is a winning team.
I mean, yeah,
Like you just
but you
don't
don't
want.
gotta trade, but you don't gotta trade everybody at one time. You like,
But if you trade Steph Curry, everybody know the next person is gone. Clay gone. Nah, my bad. It might even be Draymond. It might be Draymond and Clay.
I mean,
Because
not necessarily.
they not just going. Oh, we got rid of Steph Curry and we're gonna keep everybody else. Nah, it ain't gonna work like that.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this: do y'all think that LaMelo has a chance to become a top 5 point guard in the league? Like, with the players that'll be active with him later on down the line.
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, and who knows? Who knows if he either finishes in Charlotte or if he wants to go and play with his brother Lonzo? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen in 4 or 5 years from now when it's free agency and how that team either like.
I mean, yeah, but if you just get him, you have him locked down for the first 7 years of his career, because then he'll be a restricted free agent. He won't be able to go anywhere unless you
Like
trade him.
yeah.
But it's opinionated, bro. It's like we seen players like being in a losing situation. Like perfect example, AD right now. That trade was a win-win right now. This like that right now, cause like I'm saying you're out of blind for even thinking that, because if you look at it from a business perspective, like think about how many teams have been like having a win-win situation. The Lakers so far got a championship and got the Pelicans some core young talents. Kawhi trade succeeded in a championship. But if you thinking about trading Steph Curry for a guy that has 1 year, it doesn't even have 1 year in the league, just
Doesn't even have 10 games.
It doesn't have to be right now. I'm not saying right now. I'm
and
saying
even if you're
later
not
on
saying
down
right
the
now,
line.
just to hit that panic button and trade, because we
Think
don't know
about
what record.
It's not a panic button. It's a
It is
refresh
panic
button.
button. No, it's not a refresh.
Imagine up 60.
You know what would be a refreshment? A refreshment will be them trading Draymond and them trading Clay, or and them bringing other veteran players and them revamping that offense. That's why do you think that the greatest shooter in the world to ever play the game should be traded for a guy that it hasn't even played 10 games, or for any other guard that hasn't had the skill set that he does to the
And
game?
he just dropped 62.
Come
Yeah,
on, bro.
he
Like,
just
that's
dropped
just
62.
disrespectful.
Okay, but how long do you think Stephen Curry is gonna be in the league? How many years?
Bruh, he's
I'll
only
give him
32.
5 more years.
32.
I say
5,
five.
6
I
more
say
years.
5. I say
5
5.
Me
years.
too.
I
Based
give him
off,
at least
based off.
like
All
5 and
right,
6.
5 more years, I give that man.
five
Because
more years at the most of
shooting,
being elite.
shooting.
4 years at the least. 4 at the least.
Mhm.
5,
Five at the
like
most.
no, 6 at the most.
Yeah.
Especially
Of
how he
being
plays the
elite?
game, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna get slower, and the moves he's dribbling is gonna get slower.
Look
and
here, his jump shot ain't
eventually-
going away.
Jump shot still ain't going nowhere.
If Clay comes
Okay,
back,
you can have a jump
Bro.
shot. You need more than the jump shot. Isn't the only thing that makes
No.
Steph Curry Steph Curry.
I could argue that right now because look at what Miami just did last year with Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Like
Man.
right now, like
The
those
boy shot their lights out.
them boys were shooting the gym out of every team.
What
And
separated
look
that
at-
team was the defense, though. And if you could agree to that.
Yeah.
But
And
see,
that's how the Warriors won all their finals. Good shooting, great defense. Because if you notice, every year they went to the finals, they was in the top 3 statistically wise the defense. You heard?
True.
So it's like that's how everybody that's either made it to the finals or won the finals. I know everybody say ain't no defense in basketball, but trust me, the teams that's winning finals games, their defense is always in the top 5, top 3, or most likely top 1.
Look at the Lakers.
Okay, so what do y'all think that the Warriors are gonna do after Stephen Curry leaves?
nothing.
That's
Nothing. I mean,
that's
they
a
just
long-
that's a
Then it's just James Wiseman, and now you gotta scramble.
so
to look
so
for another
no
guard
it's
for
they not gonna scramble. Why? Because they already got 3 rings.
And
They
they-
because you got to think about it. They got nothing but time, bro. They exceeded expectations. Like you got to like you when they drafted Steph Curry. What did you think Steph Curry's best attribute was going to be? Just one question, everybody. Ever you go. What do you think Steph Curry was going to be?
Shooting.
Shooter. He was a shooter. I watched him in college. He was a tremendous shooter and player.
Right. That's everybody thought he was going to be able to relieve the shooting off of Monte Ellis. But when they see like, okay, Steph Curry's actually a good point guard, let's draft Harrison Barnes. And they got Harrison Barnes and they got what's my man's name? Draymond Green in the same draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why this trade, it would just depend solely on how you view LaMelo, where do you view their window, and how long do you think that this team constructed as is can realistically compete for it?
But what I'm saying is they built that team around Steph Curry when they found out he was a star.
I think that's where you're fucking up at, Q, because I think you're just saying Curry, but they also have a great ownership. They have a great ownership and general manager.
And general manager.
They do.
So
don't get them brothers is smart. They know.
Bro, look at what happened. They got D'Lo. Why you think they got rid of D'Lo? Because they kind of knew already. Okay, D'Lo is not doing really good at us. So what picks could we get back for D'Lo, and what could we do once Steph and Clay come back? Because that was the plan. Everybody thought that Clay wasn't supposed to tear his Achilles.
Because right now, I know what you're saying. They do have it. They actually got a top 5 pick from the Timberwolves, depending on how the Timberwolves play this year, because for the trade for D'Lo. So that's what a lot of people not understanding right now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they got that.
So when you
time, but like, it just depends on. Do you think that the core of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green is enough to win a championship if you add young pieces?
Add James Wiseman.
They have young
enough to compete for a championship.
Don't forget about Kelly Oubre.
Why you keep forgetting about Oubre? Like,
I mean, I'm not forgetting about anybody. I think people are just chasing this 2015, 2016 Warriors, and we seen that they were the best teams we'd seen in a while back then. I think we're steady chasing that instead of looking ahead to what's in front of us in the future. I don't think this team is winning a championship.
2016, that was the best regular season team ever, bro.
And they still ain't.
And it was 4 going on 5 years ago.
Okay, and now think about it. Now that Clay's gonna be like 31 next year when he comes back, Draymond is gonna be 32, and then Curry's gonna be 33, 34. And you add a young kid in Wiseman, like 20, what is he, 20, 21 years old. He's going to be, 21, 22. Those four. With a top 10 pick. those core four could realistically make a Western Conference Finals. Like their window and the way that their offense is constructed and the way that they shoot, because we never in the history of basketball have seen two pure shooters as great as they are together in the same team. And that is the difference. Not just Steph, because there's no, like Stephen A says, there's no Steph without Clay and there's no Clay without Steph. And once they come together, best believe they will at least make a semifinal. So for you to dismiss them and say, oh no, those core three, now you add a big man that could come outside and guard and put the ball down on the floor and could shoot.
And post up. Don't forget about that. His main element is posting up because he's a beast in that post. And you got to think about it too. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they not just good as spot up shooters. They can shoot off the dribble. That's what's so deadly about them. It's not that they just stand and still. That's why it's kind of hard for you to check them, because it's like you could be checking Steph and he just pull up right in your face and cash. So it's like, I get what you're saying. You're talking about something. It would make sense. But let's say they do trade Steph and it doesn't work out in their favor, and Steph go to another team like Charlotte and rebuilds that. How you think their ownership gonna look? Now they thinking about blowing up the whole entire.
That's the thing. There's always gonna be risk in any move you make. And when it comes to trading, there's always got to be risk. We see the ones who succeed are the ones who capitalize on taking the right risk and receiving the rewards for that risk. Steph Curry wasn't always Steph Curry. You gotta remember, it was like when they first traded Monte and all. No, because Steph Curry used to deal with all type of ankle injuries.
Well, that
all this other stuff. We didn't really see. It took a while to see the growth in Steph Curry, because we really didn't see him, on the map and doing work in the playoffs until the earliest I can remember is when he got eliminated. Is when they got eliminated by the Spurs.
Just by the Spurs. And that next year, I knew they was gonna be ready. Like I knew
exactly.
That next year they actually was supposed to be ready. That was the year of Donald Sterling, and they lost that series. They took the Clippers, who was a 2 seed. They took them all the way to 7 games. And me personally, I think they should have won that. And speaking on that fact, they did Mark Jackson dirty.
I mean, yeah, but you see how they took the young talent that they had and they did what they had to do to progress them, and then we seen what the results of that. I'm saying is
that's not true.
What they did with Andre Iguodala.
Because that's it. And for real, and for real, do you want to know why they really fired Mark Jackson? Because on the trade deadline, do you know who they was trying to trade for? They tried to get rid of Klay Thompson to get Kevin Love. And Mark Jackson said no.
Good memory.
Mark Jackson said no. He said we could win with this core that we had. So they took that core all the way to the playoffs. And that core lost that game. They lost that playoff series 4-3, my bad. And they was like, yeah, this is not going to work. We gotta rebuild. So what they did was they tried to do a draft capital. That's when they traded during the offseason for Andrew Bogut. They got Steve Kerr as their head coach, and I believe they added Andre Iguodala was the one pick that they added,
and that changed
and that changed the whole entire team. So I'm saying here, like Mark Jackson created this team, and they handed it over to Steve Kerr and gave it to Steve Kerr. Like Steve Kerr, the reason why they was winning, which isn't true. That's why I kind of look into a side when they say like Steve Kerr's a great coach. I look at it like, is he really?
But this season is going to prove. That's why I'm saying he thinks this is the 17 Warriors running them schemes when he's not playing their players to their fullest strengths. And also, Uber is coming back from a knee injury as well. So it's going to take him some time to come back, which is I'm not very hard at him. Like, he's doing awful, obviously, and putting up bricks and shooting with 3 niggas guarding him. But come on, bro. To be conscious, like, it's going to take some time. They're 3-3. Don't panic. Why even think about that? And in a business perspective, that's
it actually makes a lot of sense in a business perspective.
It makes sense in a business sense. I do agree with that. But I'm just saying it'll be a bad business move. But I understand why it will make sense, because it's like you're not too sure how long you gonna. It's just like you got a car. Like let's say you got a 2016 Hellcat. You don't know how much longer you're going to have with that Hellcat in 2023. So you think like, you know what, maybe I should get that 2020 now. because it's looking real good, better than the 2016 that I
My
got. So I understand where you're coming from.
my
It does
last
sound good business wise, but I wouldn't do it.
my last thing on that is you talking about Curry age like Chris Paul not 36 and still performing.
Still balling.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
Like
I'm gonna ask you
LeBron,
this.
like LeBron ain't 38 and still averaging damn near triple double.
Hey, Q, I'm gonna ask you this: how old was Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker when they won their
Right.
last championship?
That's what I'm
They
saying.
always 35.
Okay, but let's look at where the Spurs are at now.
What would you mean? That's
They
because all of
held
them are
they
gone now.
Why?
exactly. They're gone.
They treated they
That's the
treated
situation
no.
that this
Okay,
whole
that's
trade
a
package,
whole
this whole
different
trade
situation.
That's a
proposal,
different
that's
situation.
what it
It's,
makes. That's
it's
what
a
it
whole,
avoids.
That's
That's
a
a
That's what you're
different
getting
they,
situation.
around.
they,
You're getting
why
around your
why
guys
is that?
being gone and then you having nothing and having to start over.
You saw
Whereas if you trade him somewhere to where he would actually like going in Charlotte, and B, where you actually get another guy that's the same age of the draft guy that you're high on and pick this year, that avoids that whole thing of those guys being gone. It doesn't have to be this year if they wanted to do
But
it.
you gotta think about it,
It's
it's not bad on their situation because they got 5 championships out of it. So that's not
exact.
bad
They
in
have
itself.
five. They have five. They have
5 out of 6.
five
It did.
5
appearance.
out of 6.
Yeah, they have the three.
Why
They have
why would you
Steph
do
Curry
it? Why would you do
three
it next
rings.
year without seeing Stephen Clay running back?
I'm not saying it got to be next year.
They got
I'm
a
not putting
potential
a
to get 3 going.
timetable of it. I'm just saying this could be a trade to really look at later
in
on
three
down the
years, in
line.
Yeah,
4 years,
if,
5 years,
4 years, talk about it.
in
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
about to say,
saying.
we can talk about it after this year, but it's only been 6 games.
I know it's only been six. I'm not talking about anything for the season. I'm just talking about their future
Okay,
because when those
respect.
guys retire, it's like you can't trade them once they retire, and you're
and
not
all
going to
that.
be able to trade them once they get close to that retirement
I
year.
understand.
Now is
But
the time, like within the next this three-year window. That's where these are really the only times where we're going to see Steph Curry at a value to where you can trade him for somebody that's as young and as talented and as much potential you could possibly mold that'll fit with your big man.
it's only
So
one
I
team I can see
understand. I
trading that
understand what
Curry.
everyone's saying. We know that Steph Curry is one of the greatest point guards of all time and all that. But once he leaves, then that's that. You gotta start over from square one, and that's the timeline of Curry and Wiseman and them, and Draymond and them at 31, 32, 33. It it doesn't fit as well as a timeline of a younger guy, not necessarily LaMelo Ball or anybody, but you just gotta. I just think it's something that they could look at because with this situation, they can flip it as a storyline of Steph Curry going back home. Your fans won't look at it in no type of way, and you got something to go on for the next possibly 10 plus years or whatever. It all just depends on how you look at the situations. I'm not saying whether they should do it or shouldn't, but to me, I think LaMelo's going to be really good. I don't think the Golden State Warriors, I don't think that there is that much they can do with this core personally. With them being in the West, I just don't see them because a lot of the league has gotten better than the teams that they were beating back then. So I just think it just depends on how you view the situation.
Okay, respect. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
I
I think
respect
that's
it.
for
And,
sure.
But me personally, I think it's your little Lakers bad because you don't want the Golden State Warriors to be good no more, so you want them to blow everything up. That's what I
Nah,
think is
I
going
no, I
on.
like Steph Curry. Steph Curry been one of my favorite players to watch. The only time where I wasn't too fond of watching Steph Curry is when KD got there, and them they basically cheated. That was basically cheating what they did. But that's
now,
why I'm saying it
Look at
because
what LeBron
I
doing.
want players to be in good situations. I want the league to be good. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
That's
no,
why
the
I
league is
don't.
in some good hands right now because I couldn't even
Yeah,
tell you who
and
going to probably
I
this
don't want to.
year.
Like a drop off with the Golden State Warriors because they got one of the biggest fan base before they was even good. They
Yeah.
were ranked in the top five in fan attendance in the league. So that's a good fan base. I know we seeing a lot of fake Warrior fans and people who just jumped on the bandwagon, but like the overall like core of their fan base, that's a good fan base. So
Yeah.
I don't want to see them. I want them to do, what they can do to make their organization, be able to benefit for as long as possible. And if LaMelo Ball or somebody ends up being really, really good, then that can help them because Wiseman, he's gonna need a guard with him. He's gonna need it.
He could be done. I don't.
Can't no big man win without one.
It depends it depends how his growth is. That's why like going back to that Kawhi thing, like you can't compare the situation because the last time that you saw that Spurs team with Kawhi, if you look at the lineup, Kawhi took that team to a Western Conference Finals before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. So it's like you don't know if after
Kawhi's not a center.
Okay, but look at Anthony Davis right now. Anthony Davis by himself is generational talent. You don't know how Wiseman's growth is going to be and how his impact playing with Steph, playing with Clay will set him up and like make him a better NBA player. You gotta understand there's two things to success: leadership and talent. And when you combine both with a guy that has a skill 7 feet tall and can put the ball on the floor, then maybe after they leave, who knows? Oh, I want to go play with Wiseman because this guy is a shot blocker and a shot maker and can stretch the floor just how LeBron saw AD and said, if I get AD, I could win a championship with this guy. So you don't know if a guard goes.
Just like Kyrie Irving, he did it with Kyrie too.
Like, come on, bro.
That's a possibility. Yeah, they can get a guard and free agent after Stephen Curry leaves. That's definitely a possibility. But do you want to put your eggs in the basket of we'll just wait for a guy, or do you want to just be like, we like this guy, we see what this guy is doing. Let's get this guy and pour into him.
Or why not just say stay competitive, have shots at the finals, and then worry about that later on in life?
You can do all that at the same time.
No, because if you get LaMelo, you're not having shots at the finals. Come on now.
I mean, they don't have a shot at the finals. They're not making the finals.
So if Clay was healthy right now, they have no shot.
They're not making the finals.
Can you answer the question?
They wouldn't be making the finals.
If Clay was healthy right now, they would have no shot.
No, they're not making the finals, bro.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this: it's a surprise team, and mark my words. Listen, you can add me all you want. The Phoenix Suns are here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
They no joke. They lost their first game yesterday.
Second.
Oh, is they second game? Okay.
Yeah.
They still good though.
What? A quick thing on that. It's like it's good, and right now it kind of goes with the conversation that we're having because how many they took a gamble in trading
DeAndre Ayton,
Chris Paul.
But they took a gamble in trading for CP3, and it's like how many more years he has left. So
that wasn't really a gamble.
That was a gamble.
I wasn't that a gamble.
According to your logic, it is a gamble.
How many you think CP?
But that's the same thing you saying about Steph Curry. You say
no, because for one, CP3 doesn't have a super long time left. By the time CP3 gets ready to leave, they're gonna have to find another guard. They're gonna have to find another guard.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. That is like, look at Devin Booker's age. Team him with CP. Try to win a championship because
that's not winning a championship. Come on,
How you know?
It's not.
But that's the same core that you want LaMelo and James Wiseman to have.
Because it can win a championship.
So now
what?
Down the line, Chris Paul. You're comparing. Wait, are you comparing 36 years old to 19 years old?
You see what Chris Paul did with the Oklahoma City team?
Oh my God.
No. Hey, Joel. Let me. All right. So what you saying is you want LaMelo to go with James, to be with James Wiseman, but it's the same thing how Chris Paul is with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Is the same way Steph Curry and James Wiseman.
It's the same thing.
That's literally why I'm proposing the trade.
DeAndre Ayton is 23 years old. CP is 36. Steph is 32. And you're talking about mashing him up with with a younger point guard. Wiseman already has a floor general that's the greatest shooter ever. Come on, bro. You're talking some biased shit right here.
No,
then-
I don't
then
care
the Booker
about
already
the
got
Warriors
one of the greatest
or
point guards
really
of all time.
nothing. I
Fact,
like
King,
Steph
fact.
Curry right now more than I would like a LaMelo Ball. So it's not biased.
We're gonna have to change it.
At
We're
the
gonna have
end
to
of the
change this
day,
topic
at the end of the
after this
day,
next break.
a 19-year-old is gonna give you more time, more years than somebody who's currently in their 30s.
But is he
That's the
guaranteed? Is he
bottom line.
guaranteed gonna give you
Champion.
more chips, more championships? Is he gonna guarantee you more championships?
More
Nothing
wins.
is
Talk about
guaranteed.
that. Is he gonna
Nothing is guaranteed.
But you taking a risk though.
But you
At the end of
taking
the
a
day,
risk,
take a risk.
and you taking a leap of faith off of something that you know is not guaranteed. That's like saying you gonna jump out the window
That's
and
bus-
you
but that's
trying to hope that
business.
you don't break your legs.
That's business though. Everything in business, you gotta take a risk. What J. Cole said, if you scared to take a chance, how the fuck we gonna get rich?
Hey, look
So
here.
what did
But guess what? You
Come
can
on
take
now.
a risk and be broke.
Phoenix just took a risk right now. They took CP's last year of contract.
That's
What
not
if-
really a risk because
It is a
if
risk.
CP3
It is
doesn't
a
really
risk.
pan out, they don't really lose. They got CP3 on kind of a bargain. What they trade for him, they didn't trade Devin Booker, they didn't trade DeAndre Ayton.
They gave us a first round pick though.
Yeah, a first round pick. We know that a Chris Paul team is gonna at least make the playoffs. So they basically gave up first rounders.
A first round pick and a 19-point per game scorer in Kelly Oubre.
Is that like
I mean,
So
is that really
no.
risky?
No. I want you to
Kelly
keep.
Oubre
I want
in
you
the
to. No. I want you to keep that same attitude. So if LaMelo average anywhere from 15 to 19 points, please keep that same attitude.
Right.
Because that's basically what you just said.
Right.
I mean, no. Yeah,
Oh my
it's not.
It is.
Could I say it like, bro? Trading Kelly Oubre in a pick for CP3 in the Phoenix Suns situation, that's not a risk because you don't really lose. You don't lose Booker or.
But Kelly Oubre is a good player though.
Yeah, he's all right, but there'll be way more Kelly Oubres.
Okay.
Just like there's
way
gonna be
more
way
Kelly
more
There'll be way more
LaMelo Balls.
LaMelos.
No, if LaMelo Ball is a transcendent talent, there's not that
Bro,
many
Cade
transcendent talent.
Cunningham will be better than LaMelo Ball, and I'm gonna leave it at
Really
that.
will. Yes, I'm gonna stick
Like
my
I
neck
said,
out.
like I said,
got-
Hey,
the
what
fifth
is
time.
LaMelo doing?
That's so transcendent. Yeah, that's so transcendent.
Okay, look, I'm saying he has the potential to be based off what I've seen, the way he's able to pass the ball and play make for his guys, and the way he knows how to score. It's not gonna all be there his rookie
Got 1
year,
minute
but
left.
you could watch.
All right, good luck.
I got it. You could watch somebody play and look at the aspects of their game and tell what they're good at and what they're bad at. I think he's good at the things that make a point guard a good point guard. I'm not for like the fifth time. I'm not saying whether they should do the trade or not. I'm just saying it's something to look at based off of just time span, just time. That's really it. I don't know what LaMelo's gonna do. I don't know. I say it depends on how you view LaMelo and if you think he's gonna be a transcendent talent. Like it's no really right or it's not really like a definitive answer to this question yet because there's uncertainties. I'm just bringing it up, just for the conversation because I think it's something to look at.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect. Well, look, we appreciate everyone for listening, talking to us about Curry for the past hour. Good conversation, though. Definitely was a good conversation. We appreciate all of our guests coming on as well. Joe and Hafiz and everybody else. We appreciate y'all coming on and talking Stephen Curry with us for the past hour. It was a good topic, though. All the supporters, viewers, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Tell a friend about us, man. And just keep supporting what we got going on. First episode of the new year. And then we're also going to drop another episode in regards to the playoff matchups this upcoming weekend as well later on this week. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.